Hello, good morning or good afternoon, depending on your time zone. This is Robert Schoenberger with IndustryWeek, and welcome to Production Pulse, our bi-weekly live stream where we talk to newsmakers in the manufacturing world. We are wrapping up October, which is Manufacturing Month, and so we are talking about why people choose manufacturing today. We did our last session at the beginning of the month. We talked to some educators about how they get young people interested. And today we're talking to some people who chose manufacturing careers about what they've thought about their careers and the opportunities it brought them. Earlier this month, Laura Poutre, our senior editor at Industry Week, who's on our lower left here, she ran a survey on the website asking for people the simple question: why did you go into manufacturing? And we got some really great responses, and two of those respondents are with us today. On your upper left is Larry Gates, who is with Fortune Brands, their decking division. He can tell us a little bit about what he does there. And Salvador Martinez, who is a process engineer living in Costa Rica. Larry, Laura, and Salvador, thank you very much for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for inviting us.
Great. Let's start with you, Larry. Just you can tell us a little bit about what you do over at Fortune Brands and how your career has developed in the manufacturing world.
Okay, I'm currently the advanced development manager for one of our R&D divisions where we're working on new material development. But my career began as a research chemist working on a working product. But quickly I got exposed to the manufacturing environment and was fortunate enough to move out of the R&D role into manufacturing operations. And I wore many hats there. I've been in technical support, direct production management, plant management, quality management, and just love the pulse and the environment of a manufacturing shop floor. Being able to bring those raw materials in and then take them through the various processes and create a finished product that, at the end of the day, you can say, my team had a hand in making this, and then you actually see being used out in the real world.
A couple of people have noticed that you're actually calling in from manufacturing space because we hear the sounds of an active shop floor. Always good to hear. Great. Thank you. And Salvador, let's go over to you. Can you tell us a little bit about your career and how that's all developed?
Yeah, I began as a process engineer back in Texas Instruments, and that really marked me as a professional, not only from the manufacturing point of view, but also people-oriented. After that, I got an MBA, and I've done many things in my life: plant manager, engineering manager, operations manager, and I really all in manufacturing, from the electronics industry into the medical devices industries, and all of them. The most enjoyable part of a manager or a leader or whatever you want to call it is to talk to people every day and tell them their impact in manufacturing. Every time they make a piece or a product, each time they do that, a part of them goes into that product. Their blood, sweat, and tears goes along. Okay, and when the final customer receives the product, they also have the satisfaction that they have done a good product, a good customer service. So I've done everything, like I said, Six Sigma, black belt, just name it. And the most enjoyable thing is dealing with people, talking to people, getting to know each person individually. Every person is unique. And our role is to get trust and coordination along the process production lines. So everything goes well.
Yeah, and Laura, this brings up some of the trends we heard when we were reading through the responses. One of the things I spot a lot of people talking about the satisfaction level of working in manufacturing, knowing that they'd actually done something at the end of the day, that there was a product associated with their efforts, unlike, say, some office work where you're working on a project that you might not know whether or not you had an impact for months later. Can you talk a little bit about that, some of the responses you saw that touched on those ideas?
Yeah, I think both of our guests here today kind of touched on a lot of the reasons, just, talking briefly here, a lot of the reasons that people were going into manufacturing, I mean, the number one was family and their community. Like they had an in somehow. Um, one person talked about their dad bringing them to the shop. One person talked about, well, they grew up in a manufacturing town, and they knew about the pay and the stability and the opportunities. Um, you know, uh, Career pathways. Both gentlemen here have talked about how they started out maybe in one job and moved on to another job. A lot of that was our number two reason for people going into manufacturing was, the opportunities, how they could move up. And That was also actually that was tied with the creativity or the intellectual stimulation that we're talking about. And a big piece of that creativity was just seeing that you can make something, and it was kind of almost a purpose driven thing. Like, yeah, you had a hand in this project and there was something tangible at the end.
Thinking about what's going on right now in manufacturing, every industry in the country is struggling to find enough people to do the jobs, but it's been hitting manufacturing very hard because there were labor shortages before the pandemic in a lot of fields. Larry, if we could start with you, what do you think manufacturers can be doing to make these careers more attractive to young people?
I think they can be presenting the challenges and the satisfactions you can get. I think industry's gotten a lot of black eyes as far as the environment potentially that you're working in and the lack of technology. Well, if you walk across our shop floor, you're going to see cutting edge technologies that just anybody can't operate. It's a real career where it's going to keep growing as the technology advances. We're integrating those across our shop floors and throughout our whole manufacturing processes. And it's a very stimulating, like Laura referred to. There's a lot of creativity being done and taking applications that maybe were intended for another purpose and then bringing them into your workspace and adapting those for what your needs are. And I think people that have got desire to be creative, the manufacturing environment's very fruitful ground for that. It's not just the development side and the glitzy areas that need innovation. Manufacturing is a very fertile ground for innovation.
In Salvador, you're calling in from Costa Rica, and do you see the same issues in other parts of the world? The way people see manufacturing, do you think it's as a more attractive career than maybe it is in the States, or the challenges exist everywhere?
I jumps everywhere, especially in Costa Rica. I've been in manufacturing for almost 4 years. I wish I have the tools today. Back then, 40 years ago, for example, all the software, all the simulation, the finite element analysis, the Monte Carlo analysis you had to do it all by paper, pen and paper. Right now it's so easy, and that poses a different challenge, which means you have to be more creative because everybody has the same software, everybody has the same tools. So you have to get ahead, you have to be more creative. But I also see that the younger generations, once you put that challenge in front of them, they take it, they grasp it. It's an opportunity they can see. Some industries are. People believe that some industries are easier than others. I don't think so. I've been in the services industries is as challenging as the manufacturing issues, or the financial industry is as challenging as the manufacturing and services industry. I mean, you have to work for life. That's the bottom line, no matter where you are. But manufacturing, the way I love it, it brings that, like Laura says, that tangible piece of you. You can see it. Here it is. Here it is. Try it, buy it, use it, and then you will be fulfilled. That's the challenge.
Sorry. It's definitely an interesting time. I talked to a lot of other editors within our company. We have publications in a lot of different fields, and some of the same things we hear in the manufacturing world about why young people don't want to go into factory floors. We hear that from the trucking industry as they're trying to recruit drivers. We hear that from some medical services industries as they're trying to recruit, say, dental hygienists and things like this. It's hard. We don't have enough people to fill the jobs nationwide that are coming up, and every industry is going to be fighting every other industry for a limited number of people. So it's going to be a challenge for quite some time. Sorry, Laura, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I think that it really helped just having covered manufacturing for a while, and I'm in journalism. I'm not in manufacturing, but I do come from a family that was in manufacturing. Both my brother and my dad are engineers. And I think, if I had been in high school and somebody had said to me, hey, there's a way in for you in manufacturing, I might have considered it as a career. Like, I didn't see people, like, I didn't see women in it. I didn't see, like, oh, there's, like, writers, or, there's people in communications, there's people in, like, administrative roles. I just didn't see that. So I think making that connection is really important for adults who, see some, kids that have some creativity or some aptitude, and, just saying, hey, yeah, you could have a career in here too. And, I went to Honda a couple weeks ago and saw their manufacturing day, and I really liked how they were telling the high school students, okay, you just don't have to just work on the plant floor. We have mechanical engineers here, but there's lots of different engineering jobs, and there's design jobs where you can design the interior of the car. Just showing those possibilities is really important.
Yeah, it sounds like
Yeah, we have not yet invented the replicator in from Star Trek. So, since we have not invented the replicator, we have to go to the plant. We have to use our hands, push the buttons, program the robots, assembly the parts. Until that time goes, we have to be there, and that's the main challenge I see here, at least here in Costa Rica. Younger people say, "Do I have to go to work?" They'd rather stay at home, work, pushing buttons on their computers, which is nice, in their pajamas, ordering from Uber Eats, not cooking. So I guess the world has changed, but guess what? If we don't manufacture it, you won't have it. Simple as that.
Larry, just a question about at Fortune Brands, especially you're with the decking division over there. Have you seen more efforts to bring young people into the factories to show them what's available, to show them some of the career options?
We do. We interact with the local high schools here and have manufacturing days where we'll bring in the students and tour them through our facilities. We're lucky here in the fact that we've got 3 different manufacturing factories here within about a 3-mile radius of each other. So they see a variety of manufacturing operations. We also partner with the local community college and do similar type tours. And then we've got an active co-op problem with the universities throughout the state. And that's been a real eye opener for a lot of those students when they come in that, thought that they were wanting to go down a, more academic career path. But when they get involved and exposed to the manufacturing environment on a day-to-day basis, it really has turned a few of them into people that have actually come and worked with us now as full-time employees. So trying to tap into that, bring people in, let them see what's actually going on, and expose them to the opportunities. Just like Laura alluded to earlier too, it's not just a direct manufacturing opportunity. They're exposed to what other skill sets and job careers are available once you join our corporation.
That's good to hear. And again, thank you so much for everyone for joining us today. I'd like to thank Larry Gates from Fortune Brands for being here, and Salvador Martinez. And Laura, thank you for joining us as well from the next office down here. But it's great to hear from people in this world about what we can all do to attract more workers. On that front, it's been a really active couple of days on the talent world for manufacturing. We just got news late last night that Ford and the United Auto Workers have come to a tentative agreement, and Ford workers will be back on the assembly line right away, not waiting until they ratify the contract. So that's going to put some pressure on General Motors and Stellantis. So we'll stay tuned for the next couple of days. We'll see what happens with those other automakers, and maybe this strike will be in the rearview mirror fairly soon. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll be back in 2 weeks for our next Production Pulse.
Thank you.